Welcome back to Theater Talk, a nonprofit podcast recorded in Studio C at Cape Media Center, located in Dennisport, Massachusetts. The purpose of this podcast is to spotlight various theatrical productions on Cape Cod, as well as the actors and crew members who breathe life into their various shows. On this episode, we're exploring Dreamsville, a new play by Susan Luminello, directed by Jess Wilson and performed this month at Cotuit Center for the Arts, located at 4404 Falmouth Road in Cotuit. Founded in 2008, the Watermelon Alligator Theater Company is a consortium of theater professionals and dedicated amateurs who are committed to producing quality theater in a local setting. They produce shows in a variety of venues, from outdoors to black boxes, schools to large theaters, warehouses to town halls, provocative theater, contemporary playwrights, new works, local talent. With me today to discuss this company's latest production, Dreamsville, are the production's playwright, Susan Luminello, and the show's lead actor, Missy Potash. So welcome to the show, and tell our listeners about Dreamsville. What is Dreamsville about? We'll start with you, Susan.
Thank you, Jamie. Good to be here. Dreamsville is the story of the real-life woman, Gloria Stavers, who ran the world's biggest teen idol magazine, 16 magazine, during the classic rock era, and basically invented rock and roll journalism. So it's her rollicking adventures from very unlikely beginnings. And it's also about how fantasy is a lot easier to control than real love, and how the clash can really get people into trouble sometimes. So there are some tears, some laughs, and Missy is absolutely amazing in the role.
Oh, excellent. So, Missy.
Hello.
Let's segue to you and tell us about your role.
I play Gloria Stavers. It is an amazing role to play. She is a woman who really pushed the boundaries of what women could do. During that time, and she did it with style, and she did it with pizzazz, and it feels exciting to be able to put myself into her shoes and become her, and go through the experiences that she went through. It's an honor, yeah.
Okay, great. Susan, what kind of research did you do into this particular character from history?
A lot of research. She appears throughout various books of people who were around during that time, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. So I basically read... did a deep Google dive, Internet Archive dive, to try to find any mention of her. And I found a lot of mentions of her, whether it was from a biography of Lenny Bruce. There's a chapter devoted to Gloria Stavers in there, and you'll find out why if you go to Dreamsville. So a lot of research into her experiences with various other, rock stars, pop culture icons of the time.
She met all the greats. From what I understand, she dated Jim Morrison for a time?
Yeah. That was
There were others too, but yes.
Oh, yeah. Many others?
Oh, well, yeah.
She had a type. Rock stars.
I don't know if she had a type.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a type per se.
Okay.
I think she, if she did have a type, it was maybe exciting people.
Exciting people, yeah.
Okay, all right. So from what I understand, 16 magazine grew out of an Elvis fan magazine.
Right.
And really came to prominence. And was it the only magazine? Was it the first magazine that catered specifically to teenage girls?
Yeah. I mean, it was the first magazine to basically take rock and roll seriously and to present teen idols who were really just becoming a thing. I mean, there was Frank Sinatra. He was sort of a teen idol, but it wasn't part of a whole teen culture.
Right.
You know, so with Elvis and all the other rock and roll people of that time, that started the culture. So 16 grew out of that. But, you know, you have to remember that at the time it was not respected music. People thought it was a fad. They thought it was just
The devil's music.
the devil's music and just a flash in the pan. The people who had the money,
Right.
they didn't like the music. You know, Gloria listened to the fans. She listened to the kids who were ignored, and it got big.
Yeah. Yeah. She saw something that no one else was seeing, and she jumped at the opportunity.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
a fascinating person. I can't wait to see your performance in this new production. When did you write this?
I started writing it probably in 2018, maybe 2017, just, you know, writing about the character, doing free writing and trying to find out what it was, what there was about her that intrigued me so much, and just kept going and going, and I've had a few stage readings so over the years so I could shape the script, and then here we are.
Always good to have a staged reading for audience feedback, so you can like hone your work and make sure it's the best it can be for a live audience. So I was looking at the cast list, and it at first I thought it was a one-person show.
It
But
is.
there are two other people, and they are voices? Are they off-stage voices?
Oh, well, yes, the voices, yeah. We have the voice of Jacques. He is one of the individuals responsible for starting 16 magazine.
Okay.
Gloria's boss. And then Gloria's husband, Frank Stavridis. There's a voice for him.
So on stage, like, how do you interact with these character voices? Are you on the phone? Are you?
No, they're overhead, and I just kind of gaze off into a specific place, and I just react to the lines being said.
Well, that's part of the magic of theater. Is
Exactly.
The immersion becomes so strong that the suspension of disbelief is just what we're used to. So we can visualize things around the actors.
Right.
So yeah, it's very, very cool, very avant-garde. Do you wear like period appropriate costumes?
Yeah, a
during the
new
show?
costume for every scene, and we do everything in front of the audience. So I mean, the lights are lowered, but the costume changes are done on stage and
okay.
everything. Yeah,
Wow. So wait, are you on stage the entire time?
entire time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How long of a show is this?
100 minutes.
Oh my.
About
Wow. Wow, you, you have my respect. That's
Thank you.
If I'm delivering a soliloquy for like a couple minutes, like I feel like that is a major life accomplishment. But 100 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
You're on stage by
Yeah.
yourself? That's incredible.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun, and this is a first for me. I've never done a one woman show before, so it was challenging. But I mean, once you get into the groove, it doesn't feel challenging. It just feels fun, and you just go with it, and you discover, and you develop, and then you end up with something pretty awesome. Yeah.
Sounds like an amazing experience for the audience. What other roles have you played?
Oh my goodness, a lot. Here on the Cape, I've done all sorts. I've done theater and film out west. I've done theater on the Cape. I've done my own radio show for a while.
Like a radio drama?
No, like I had the live request show with DJ Missy Miss on
fun.
B92.7 in Utah.
I had a gothic rock show on WKKL in the 90s.
Awesome. And then I had another radio show in Salt Lake. That's right. That was fun too. Streetcar Named Desire. I was Blanche. I was Sally Bowles in Cabaret.
Nice.
Yep. I was Corey Bratter in Barefoot in the Park. That's one of my favorites. Echo in Eleemosynary. That was another one I did at the Black Box at Katuitt. That was like a decade ago. Time flies.
Sure.
Yeah, I've done a lot. It's hard for me to list my favorites. But yeah, I've been acting since I was 20.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Would you say like this is the most challenging role or one of your most challenging roles?
I would say to date, it is the most challenging, but in a different way, because it is a one-woman show. Right. So I don't have other actors and characters to bounce off of. I don't have any other energy besides the audience to feed off of. You know, everything I have to create all of that myself and rely on myself. And that was different. Right. And the how different it is or was the challenging part. That's what was challenging. Memorizing, no. That came easy. Finding Gloria and getting into her, that wasn't any more challenging, you know, than other amazing roles that I've done. It was the fact that it's all me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the hurdle. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's scary. Like, it took me the longest time, you know, if I'm delivering like speeches on stage, like I always used to look below the lighting grid and just above the audience. So in like this void where there's nothing. But like I really wanted to make a connection emotionally with the audience with my future roles. So I gradually like forced myself to get used to looking people in the eye, because this is like the magic of theater. This is something that you can't get from streaming video or going to the movie theater, is that personal experience. Like, this actor on stage is delivering lines right to me.
Yeah.
And I assume that you do that throughout the performance?
I do it periodically, you know, because it's like I'm talking to the audience, yes, but there's also a small wall, a thin wall. I'm not actually like looking you dead in the eyes and talking straight to you. Right. You know, but I might look at you, you know, instead of past you.
Right. Are the other actors, are they backstage speaking into mics, or is it pre-recorded?
It's pre-recorded.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then you just kind of like look off and the audience can pretend to see that in their mind's eye, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's great. Did you have to learn an accent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, a slight North Carolina accent.
Very nice. My niece is living in North Carolina, so I expect that she'll adopt that accent in a year or two.
Yeah.
Is there like an intermission? Like,
no intermission.
Wow.
Yep.
That's hardcore.
100 minutes, 12 scenes, back to back. But it's a ride. It's fun. Yeah. You know, the audience last night, and I asked them, I said, no one was bored. No one was like this is getting long. And no, they said that they wanted more. They wanted it to go longer, which is one of the ultimate compliments. You know, even an amazing show, if it goes past a certain point or to a certain point, people get antsy, people get restless. They want to get up, walk around. An intermission is needed. Do you know what I mean? Sure. But no, it Well,
that's definitely a compliment towards the spellbinding performance that you no doubt have.
Thank you.
In terms of staging, like, is there like any like set pieces, decoration that moves around? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are two sets. There's Gloria's office and Gloria's apartment.
Okay.
So, but like Missy said, it's all there for view. Mm-hmm. So all of her costumes are out there
on a clothing rack.
Yeah.
Which works as the divider between the two sets. Yeah.
And this takes place in late 50s, early 60s?
It starts in the late 50s and ends in the early 70s.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So you really see the passage of time in terms of fashion.
Yes, you do. Fun. And the costumes are wonderful. Yeah, Bethany, she does a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Did you have a, what do they call them, dramaturge? Someone to make sure that everything's historically accurate?
I feel like Susan worked as the dramaturge.
You did your research.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Of course she did, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's yeah, to do that with my own script, I guess is a little unusual, but it felt right. I mean, doing a one-person, show, it's having one actor, it's very intimate. So I was there. The actors and directors don't always want the writers there, but
Right. The second director, as it were. That's
you know,
not what I intended.
No. I tried to stay out of their way and let them create the piece, but I was there, because it's such an intimate show, and there's so much for Missy to go through and to explore. So I was sort of a little dramaturgical presence. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you want it to be as historical as possible. If there are audience members that may have known this person, or like from those decades. So, you want to make sure that is a true experience for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why do you think, why this, why now kind of thing that kind of echoes through my mind as a playwright myself? It's like, why does this story need to be told? What can audience members take from this that they may not have known before, other than just like exploring a person from American history that they might not have known this much about?
Well, I think for any writer, your first person to please is yourself. So you have to be interested. You have to love the thing you're writing about, whether it's an individual or an event or what have you. So that was what captivated me. Is I liked her. I was interested in her journey. So I think, for audiences, any audience, a reader, a viewer, they take away what means something to them. So you can't always control, artists can't always control what people think or how they respond to your work. Hopefully it's positive, they like it, whatever they like about it is good for them. So what they take away, I hope what they take away is that, it's a feminist kind of note in it, I suppose, to take away that women should speak up.
Okay. Interesting.
That women should talk about what's important to them, and feel okay about that.
Great.
Because sometimes it feels like maybe it's not so okay, but it is. It's okay.
Would you call this this person, I keep calling it a character in your play, certainly, but a real person from history, would you say that they are a role model?
Definitely a role model, but not a traditional role model.
Okay.
Yeah. That she's definitely not a traditional role model, but she is someone that I think countless people should look up to and respect. And the stuff that she conquered and overcame and became in the face of all the stuff that she dealt with and she was going through is something that is admirable.
So does the audience follow a character arc?
Yeah.
With Gloria? Okay. So we see her transform not only fashion-wise, but also like as a character.
Yeah, you definitely see her go from the beginning before she became Gloria Stavers. And then at the end, after she is leaving 16 and she has made it what it was. Right. And she grew with the magazine. She grew with it. She became someone that she never even, I don't believe she ever even thought that wasn't even in her foresight, That's not, she just wanted to write articles at first.
Yeah, a labor of love.
Yeah, and it became something so wonderful and she grew with it. And you can see that arc throughout it. At least I hope you can. I feel it.
So you had your preview last night, and tonight you open.
Yeah.
So break legs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess as we before we sign off, let's start with you, Susan. Give one last pitch to our audience about Dreamsville. Why is it a must-see?
Wow. I think it's a must-see because if you are fascinated with pop culture, if you love rock and roll and you want to go behind the scenes at the person who delivered it to America's teens back when, you've got to go check it out. Gloria Stavers was a fascinating character. Unheralded, the woman should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today. So go check it out. It's an amazing tour de force performance by Missy, too.
I imagine it has an amazing soundtrack as well.
It does. It takes you through the decades of all the different music, and also really what the music meant to Gloria and to the people who were behind the scenes doing this stuff.
Great. Missy?
I'd say come see the show because it speaks to everyone, regardless of how old you are. I mean, to an extent. Too young, obviously. Sure. But you didn't have to experience those eras to be able to take something amazing and meaningful away from this.
So a younger audience member, someone that would maybe like, whatever, born in the 90s, 2000s, that had never heard of this person or 16 magazine.
We had someone in the audience last night who's 14, and he loved it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, he had no idea that she was a real person. He thought that she was a character, and he was blown away. He loved it, and he wants to know more about her. And so it's not just for those individuals who lived at that time. It speaks on so many different levels, and the message comes across to everyone. And I stress, don't miss it. Come see it. I mean, obviously, I want you to. I'm in it, but it's for just the show in itself and the story that Susan has written. Come see it. Don't miss this.
All right. Well, thank you. Just to reiterate, Dreamsville, this new play written by Susan Luminello, directed by Jess Wilson and performed this month in the Black Box at Cotuit Center for the Arts, located at 4404 Falmouth Road in Cotuit. This will run December 5th to the 22nd, Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m., Saturday at 5 p.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. So thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you, Jamie.
And thank you for listening to Theater Talk, spotlighting community theater on Cape Cod. If you have a suggestion for a future episode, or would like to suggest a guest, or would like your production to be mentioned, please email jamie@capemedia.org. That's JAMIE @capemedia.org. And we're signing off for today, so good night, happy holidays, and support the arts.